I hate going to the movie theater more than
Why?
anything in the world. I freaking hate it.
Why?
It's too loud, it's too dark, and it's too expensive.
It's just laughable. Like, I don't know what's going on in Queens, but like the team is cursed. I don't know what it is. That I just like it's a nightmare that I can't like wake up from.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll buy this kid whatever they want. They're like an ice cream. I'm like, that's $18. No, I don't care about them coming back that badly.
The Mets just blew the lead, and I'm like, this is like I'm like, oh my god, like I'm in hell.
Welcome to Gamblin and Ramblin, a weekly show where we react and rant about the weekend in sports betting. I'm Tim Kalinowski. I'm joined by Charlie DiSturco. You can follow us both in the Action app, Action YouTube channel, Action Network HQ on TikTok and Twitter. Charlie, we are on a little bit of a hiatus, a little bit of a holiday, as they call it. I say that we were just playing in, the YouTube All-Star game, but we're back here. It was nice to get away for a couple weeks. You told me you're already getting ready to go back on vacation. Must be nice, kid.
Hey, I'm still gonna be at Gamblin Ramblin next week. That vacation doesn't stop. But yeah, it was good to take a couple weeks off. We got to see each other in person and hang out again. We don't get to do that often. But yeah, ready to get back into the dog days of summer and baseball and NASCAR betting.
Yeah, people say, oh, like, so cool, you work in sports, it must be so fun, this and that. I'm like, listen. They're like, oh, especially too, July, it's slow, right? Well, try doing 4th of July. 4th of July fell on like Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it was. So you kind of go like bender there. And then it's still, then you got like a short week. So that weekend was like kind of a bender. And I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, that's great. You're young, enjoy 4th of July. And then bang, you go to New York to our content summit. It was on a Monday and a Tuesday. And I'm out with Stucky till 6:30 in the morning. I'm like,
you're brave for doing that. I had my 1 year anniversary, so I had to call it early that one night. But I had a similar boat. I was at a bachelor party in Montreal. Then I come back. It's July 4th. Then I have a wedding in San Francisco, and you got to celebrate a wedding. And then I come back, and I got a lot of shit for my little message about everyone having delays and me not realizing everyone's messaging about their delays. And then I come right back and it's a summit and I'm thrown right into the home run derby, the All-Star game, drinking and the Action Network summit. But it was good. It was nice to see everybody, even though Ray-Ban slept through the entire second day.
Very not fair. Very not fair. And I think I should get a lot of credit for digging really deep and just bringing it every single night. People are like, call me old, they call me miserable, they call me a curmudgeon. It's like, I still have my fastball. Like, I'm still closing the place down.
You also hosted the Gamblies. Like you went above and beyond. Everybody else is just busy sitting in the stands. You're in front of the camera,
I know. I think I got a chia seed in my tooth. Anyway, we're
oh, we're back, baby. We are back.
It's like right in my tooth. But anyway, so we thought of a fun way to do this is we are in the dog days. We can talk a little bit, mostly baseball driven, but some other topics as well. We're going to play 9 innings. Okay. Every inning is another topic. We kind of did the topics together, kind of not. So a little open-ended, but it should be fun. So we are in the first inning right here. Reactions to, we were together, home run derby, All-Star game. We were together. I don't think anyone actually watched the All-Star game. Do you care about the All-Star game? And some thoughts on the home run derby in the first inning here.
I will say the All-Star game, the fact that Elias Diaz hit the home run to take the lead, and I had National League, and everyone else I'm sure did at the company too. That was fun, but I didn't watch a single minute until like the 7th inning. I will say the home run derby. Granted, we had an Action Network party with it, but the home run derby, you can win a lot of money live betting, and it was something I didn't realize until I sat with Sean Zerillo and just like watched the lines move. Julio Rodriguez goes out 41, 42 home runs against Pete in the first round. All of a sudden, he's, a heavy favorite, and Vlad Guerrero Jr. is plus 280 as an underdog. And everyone at Action just absolutely hammered Vladdy there. You can really win a lot of money if you can understand and pick apart lines and watch the sports books. Because I think they don't know what's going on when it comes to these fun events such as the home run derby, where they're kind of making lines on the go. So that was, I mean, a fantastic time, and something that, like, I usually don't enjoy these festivities, but the home run derby in particular, I did.
Yeah, there's a lot to consider, I think, especially on the sports book end, right? So if you're going to post live lines on it, is this guy going to get in the bonus? Like, has he gotten his bonus yet? Is he fatiguing? Is he tired? So they left a lot of lines up there that you could get at. And again, part of the deal is you have to be standing next to someone who can do, math in real time. I certainly can't. So I will say people give the home run derby a lot of heat about the matchups, and I honestly like the matchups. I think that it keeps people intrigued and engaged throughout the entirety of the home run derby, because, like, if someone say someone in the first at bat hit 65 bombs, like, you could go make dinner, you could go make a drink, and you could come back and, like, that guy's gonna win, right? Like, I like how it's a little TikTok effect, it's a little shorter form.
Yeah, I told Sean Zerillo that I am next home run derby. I'm taking his guest bedroom in his house. It's mine. I'm sitting there. I'm staying there, and we're gonna profit together.
Yeah, I'm also just disgusted that Adley Rutschman did not win, because the switch hitting was insane.
That was, like, the most aggravating for me, was seeing him do that, and then Robert just come out and absolutely tank, like, 20 was it, he tied Rutschman without an extra time, and then hit one in the extra time. That was so aggravating, because it was, like, such a cool moment for the home run derby, something that, like you said, social media TikTok clips, and then all of a sudden, Robert just comes, I keep saying Robert just comes out and monstrous home runs.
Stepping on balls, just
he was so nonchalant too. He just, like, threw his bat out and the ball would go 450. Like, I forget, like, how powerful he is, and, like, he was the only one where I saw that I was like, oh my god, like, he's like that's disgusting.
Yeah, he was just flicking the ball. So yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It is what it is. It serves for mid to late July. It is what it is. Moving on. Look, you and I saw you take this morning. I saw you bet the Padres to win the World Series once again, 65-1. Let's talk a little, now that we're halfway through here, more than halfway, a little World Series prediction, plus the best value on the board for future, if you haven't taken anything or you're trying to diversify the portfolio.
Yeah, my exact prediction, I would say, if I'm trying to be as accurate as possible, the Blue Jays against the Braves. I just don't know if anyone can upend the Braves. They are, pound for pound, just the best offense in baseball, and their pitching has really done solid despite all the injuries. And then Toronto, I think, a really good underdog. I mean, everyone's going to go Texas and Tampa. I'll be a little bit different. I think Toronto's offense is just as good as them, and they should buy at the deadline. And with Gosman coming to fruition and being a star, it's only inevitable that happens. As far as best value on the board, I mean, Padres. You said I logged it. 65-1 is okay. So I'm sorry. Like, listen, they probably don't make the playoffs, but at 65-1, if the Padres, they're 8 games out of the wild card right now, if they make a run and they end up making the playoffs, they have Darvish, Snell, Musgrove. That's as good as a 1-2-3 as anybody in baseball. And the offense is historically bad with runners in scoring position. You don't think that's going to uphold with as talented an offense as they have. Hassan Kim is a breakout year, and then Tatis, Soto, Machado. To me, 65-1 is an outrageous number. Like, most projections, it's like almost like a 10% value if you take them. The issue is like, do they really make the playoffs? But if they get in, I think that's the best value on the board right now.
Yeah, I 100%. You said it perfectly. Like, I took them at 45, and then I think again at 50. Like, they are just a team that, if we see this, in baseball all the time, if that team gets in, finds a way to get in, then everything's reset. Everyone's 0-0, and it's like, having a Padres 65-1 ticket would make you feel really damn good if they just can get in.
It's just like the Phillies of last year. They have Nola and Wheeler that carry them through, and it's just timely hitting. The Padres have a better offense, arguably, than Philly did last year. And then they have arguably a better offense, 1-2-3, or pitching staff 1-2-3 than Philly does. Because, like, Nola's not been as good this year. Wheeler's been good, but, like, Snell's pitching at a Cy Young level. Musgrove's pitching at a close to a Cy Young level. And then Yu Darvish is Yu Darvish. Like, he hasn't been great this year, but
he can flip it at any second.
Exactly. And it's all timely. And if they sneak in, I mean, like you said, you're going to be feeling really good about a 65-1 ticket. You think it's inevitable that they go on like a 20-0 win streak, or like an Athletics 20-game win streak. Like, they're just the best. They're good, and they're losing all these games, and it's aggravating.
They have to. And again, you'll be looking at them in like the wild card, and they'll be playing that wild card game, and you'll be like, wait, that lineup barely made the playoffs, right? Like, that's what I'm hoping happens. And so
right.
in terms of exact World Series, Braves are just so strong. I don't know how you can't go Braves. And then it's pick your poison. I guess you went Toronto. I was between Tampa and Texas, and I guess I'll lean Texas. Houston's interesting to me because they just haven't been healthy, right? Is that been the deal with Houston?
Yeah, Alvarez is not playing right now. Altuve's been on and off the IL. Pena's been hurt, banged up. No, they're interesting too, but it's like it's just like, I don't want to see Houston in Atlanta. I mean, they're gonna you don't want to see them.
Exactly. All right. The two teams now in the bottom of the AL East, my Boston Red Sox, and even further at the bottom as of last night, because the Red Sox beat Oakland and the Yankees didn't play, the New York Yankees.
Well, the Yankees lost. No, the Yankees lost in extras to the Angels, which is, if you want.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did.
You want to talk about how bad the Yankees are? They lost to the Angels in extras.
I literally forgot that. You're right. That did happen. Yes. I mean, you just hate to see it. You just hate to see it.
Home run in the 8th inning. I think it was 8th. Yeah. I mean, dude, the Yankees. I cannot believe that they are this bad. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Like, without Judge, that this lineup is from top to bottom just weak. You look at the names like Billy McKinney, Kyle Higashioka. Volpe's not been as good as everyone expected. The biggest thing to me has been Anthony Rizzo. I mean, it feels like he's gone a year without hitting a home run, which obviously it hasn't, but it's been, I think, a month and a half. Which is
inexcusable in that ballpark.
Oh, yeah. You have
a left-hand hitter.
You have a Mickey Mouse short porch in right field, and Anthony Rizzo can't hit a home run. It's pretty incredible to watch him just absolutely implode. The Yankees, their bullpen's great, their pitching is okay, and their offense is abysmal. And that's the end of the story. And that I was very high on them to make the playoffs and win the AL East, and I added when one of the Rays pitchers that I'm blanking on his name went down with an injury, but for the year. But Judge getting hurt has absolutely destroyed this team in all confidence, because his bat in the middle of the lineup really matters. But the Red Sox, I think, are good, bro. Like, I think they're gonna they've been hot in July, and I think they're gonna continue and make the play. I think they can make the playoffs. Yeah,
the Sox are interesting, but the Yankees first. A bunch of things can be true. One, it can be the best division in baseball, and it's tough every single night. Totally true. Fine. Two, they can miss Aaron Judge. Fine. But you can't be that reliant on Aaron Judge. You can't have one player tank the entire lineup.
Judge comes back from injury, right? Because he was hurt early on the year.
Yep.
Didn't they go on like a huge win streak, and all of a sudden they were only like a handful of games out of first? And then he went back.
They were chasing Tampa at one point.
Yeah. And then he runs into the outfield wall, breaks his toe, and now they've been a disaster ever since. I mean, it's pretty incredible that they rely just so heavily on one guy.
I mean, he might be, or not might be. He is the heartbeat of the team, but you can't look like disinterested in playing baseball just because 99 isn't playing. That's
right.
That can't happen either. Like, you're still professional. Anthony Volpe can't strike out just because Aaron Judge isn't in the dugout to say keep chugging along, buddy. Like, So anyway, like, and also too, that lineup. Like, I went to a Yankee game this year, and I'm like, that lineup is so pathetic for like a Yankee Stadium Bronx Bomber lineup. Like, it's friggin' pathetic, especially it's without Judge. It's friggin' pathetic. And I love it. I love every second of it. And, it's maybe it's a good thing. Yankees fans are like, hey, it takes them to suck for them to finally fire Cashman. But at the end of the day, it is just very interesting to see two big market teams, my Red Sox and the Yankees, having lineups that don't have a lot of big money, a lot of big names with big money attached to them. It's just weird to see.
And then the guys that they have big money attached to, it's like Josh Donaldson, he's hitting like 150.
I know, right?
And is striking out every other at bat. And then Anthony Rizzo hasn't hit a home run since like May. Like it's incredible that you calculate that. It's like almost as bad as what the Mets are doing with the amount of money that they have sacked up into 3 guys, and then all of a sudden they're out of the playoffs too. I mean, I don't think there's any chance that the Yankees end up making a run here. They just look dead.
I hope they don't make a run. They looked at it. I think they are dead. No, I want you to talk about your Orioles.
Yeah, Hutton mentioned this. I haven't seen the video. I probably did call the Orioles the 4th best team in the AL East, but to be fair, with the Yankees healthy, with Judge healthy, I think the Yankees might be better than the Orioles. But a man can admit when he's doing wrong. And the Orioles are not the 4th best team in the AL East. They're probably 3rd, honestly. I mean, that's going to get me a lot of slack, too, because I think Toronto's better than Baltimore. But credit where credit's due, the Orioles are like the Reds, and they're going all in with all their young talent, and it's paying off. And I'm thoroughly impressed. And I said to Sean Zerillo today, Ryan O'Hearn has gone from a horrible player in Kansas City to now a very serviceable guy in Baltimore. Anthony Santander was like a borderline MLB player, and now he's like the heartbeat of that middle of the lineup. Crazy.
The Orioles are a treat to watch.
I don't understand it, dude. Like, you know what? Like, listen, I was wrong with the Orioles, but like they were like one of the after the start of the season. The Orioles were really hot. I said that they wouldn't keep it up, but I also said that about the Pirates, who are in free fall mode. I said that about the Cardinals, who are a disaster. So, every time, if I make an opinion about 30 different teams, I'm going to be wrong about one of them. I didn't see this video that's got 5,000 views, apparently. But, no publicity is bad publicity.
You're right. You're 100% right. What can I say? That's what I do. That's all I do. Yeah. 4th inning here. Pitcher just got shelled. New topic. A lot of big movies coming out? Oppenheimer, Barbie. Do you go to the movies? You interested in the movies? You interested in seeing these? What's your deal?
One of my friends is a huge movie geek, so he gets me to go to AMC a lot. So I've started going to more movies. My girlfriend wants to go see Barbie, and I'm all for it because like Margot Robbie's the star of it, and I've actually heard really good things about it. And then Oppenheimer also out. Like I like the Cillian Murphy, so I'll be going to see both probably. I don't know. I might procrastinate, and then all of a sudden it's out of theaters because I feel like movies are out every week. Like now they're just completely gone. But I'm pro movies. I think we need to keep the economy going.
Yeah, and then all that's nice. And I'm not going to see Barbie. Margot Robbie, yeah, she's great, but I'm just. It's not like a manhood thing. I'm just really not interested in a baby doll movie. It just doesn't really do it for me. And also, I'm really excited to see Oppenheimer. I like history. I'm excited to see it. When I say I'm excited to see it, I mean in 6-8 weeks, whenever it comes on DVD.
So you're anti-movies.
On demand, streaming, whatever. I hate going to the movie theater more than anything. I freaking hate it.
Why?
It's too loud, it's too dark, and it's too expensive.
So wait, hold on. When you sit and watch a movie at home, do you turn the lights on?
No, I turn them all off.
So then there's a difference between it's dark at home and it's dark in the movie theater.
Movie theater dark is different. You can't see your hands in front of your face.
With the screen you can because it's bright.
No, I hate movie theater dark. Not for me. I want to be in control.
The popcorn.
Oh, I mean, popcorn. Like you. I wouldn't buy popcorn movie theater if it was.
What? Why?
It's too expensive. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's insulting. It's insulting.
It's like a night out in the town. You know how many screwdrivers do you get out at where you make out in the bars and stuff like that? You're spending $10-15 there.
So you're right. But I'm fine spending money on those things. Not fine spending money on a situation I'm already not psyched about.
But you're psyched about seeing Oppenheimer. You're just not psyched about the actual
in my own house.
Movies.
In my own house, so
with
that
movie theater popcorn popped in the microwave,
so that I can pause it and pee when I want to, so that I can pause it and text when I want to. Like, no. I couldn't. I've been to the movies probably 5 times in my entire life, maybe.
Wow.
I freaking hate going to the movies.
I went and saw Babylon. That was the last movie I saw in theaters.
but I'm excited. But I hate
that was Margot Robbie too. Maybe it's just a correlation. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not for me. Don't hate it. Hate sitting through the previews. Hate all that nonsense.
Oh, see, I like the previews.
Yeah,
Tim.
Hate people whispering. Hate people talking. Hate people coughing. Hate people sneezing.
Front page news: old man yells at kids on front lawn.
Yeah, someone sitting there after listening to people laugh about parts that aren't funny. Like
the one thing I'll say is that like the best thing to do with a movie theater is sitting there alone, like watching a movie alone, because that I enjoy the big space, the comfy chairs. But when you get some annoying people, bro, I had 2 people cuddling on the same chair one time next to me and my buddy, and I was like, you got 2 seats, like sit in the 2 seats. You don't have to share a movie theater seat.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love all that comes with it. Like it's not for me. And then you step out of the movie theater and it's like you time traveled. Like you're like, what? I hate that feeling too, of being like, what was the world still going on when I was in that dark room? Like
you're like, how are my bets doing? I haven't seen them in 2 months.
Yeah, exactly. I hate that feeling. I'm like gasping for air. I'm like, are the Orioles first 5 hitters?
Yeah. How many more comments did they make roasting me?
So yeah, that's that. But back to our MLB topic, 5th inning. The most upsetting MLB team to date. We kind of touched on it.
You're going with the Padres?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Mets. The icing on the cake was I went to the game on Saturday, and if you didn't watch the game Saturday or see any of the highlights from it, not only did DJ Stewart,
if you didn't see the highlights, consider yourself lucky.
Yeah, DJ Stewart, former Baltimore Oriole, by the way, dropped a pop-up in right field, and then Brett Beatty missed a pop-up to third base in the 9th inning, and it bounced off the dirt into his face. And I'm sitting there watching, and I'm like, it's just laughable. Like, I don't know what's going on in Queens, but like the team is cursed. I don't know what it is. That I just it's a nightmare that I can't like wake up from. And you keep thinking it's going to turn around, similar to the Padres, and they just keep losing, and they keep losing, and their bullpen keeps blowing games, just like the Padres. So they've been the most. I mean, they're also my favorite team. So like watching them lose in such dramatic fashion, and it's laughable fashion too. Like it's just like I can't even defend them. So by far and away the most upsetting team to date for me.
They my AA Lugnuts team plays better defense than the Mets. Cheers. The pop fly, no pun intended, that should not fly. It's just
Hutton, pull up the photo side by, like, it's just Brett Beatty getting hit in the face with a baseball. I cannot believe I catch pop-ups in my softball game. Like I have people that are really bad at softball, they catch pop-ups. Like I've seen some really unathletic kids.
Yeah, I would say it's the Padres for sure. I'm happy to kind of see them losing because I'm not a fan of them really. And, Bogarts, like I'm rooting for Bogarts. Good for you. But like, I naturally root against like stacked teams like this, but now I put money on them. So I'm all in for Go Padres. And the Red Sox too. You can send them in outer space. I usually go to like 20 Red Sox games a year. I'm protesting this year. I'm not giving my money to watch that egregious excuse for a pitching staff. We did our most upsetting team. 6th inning. Which division leader, we have a couple unexpected division leaders, I'd say, will lose their spot by the end of the year? A couple good candidates here.
Yes, the candidates are the Rays are 1 game ahead of the Orioles. Not going to happen. The Twins are 1.5 games ahead of the Guardians. I don't think it's going to happen. Texas, 3.5 in front of Houston. I think Houston can make a run, especially when they're fully healthy. But the one I'm going to go with is Milwaukee. They are 2 games ahead of Cincinnati. They have a negative run differential. Cincinnati does too. But Cincinnati is in a completely different mode and like area than Milwaukee is, right? Cincinnati is going all in. They're calling up Encarnacion Strand. They're calling up Elly De La Cruz, and they're going for the win. And they're going to be buyers at the deadline. They're going to add pitching, which is their biggest issue right now. So with 2 games left, with 2 games out of Milwaukee, and Milwaukee dealing with injury, with Brandon Woodruff, and then Corbin Burns' contract possibly could he be moved. I don't know if they'll go for it or not, but I just think that this team, the Brewers, I mean,
they're so Brewers to sell in first place.
Yeah. But didn't they do that last year with Hader? They
I
sent
think
him to
so.
San Diego.
Was that last year or 2 years ago?
I think it was last year. They sent him to San Diego, and then they were in first place. It's the same story this year. I think the only team that has a chance is Cincinnati of upending them, but I think they do. Like Hunter Green's going to come back, Nick Lodol's going to come back, both in August. They're going to add a pitcher at the deadline, and all of a sudden you're going to look at this Reds team and be like, wow, you know, with this young like crop of guys and Joey Votto, you know, they're going to make it.
I hope.
I know. 600 to 1 World Series ticket I have.
They're so fun. Yeah, I'll go with Miami upending Atlanta. No, I'm just kidding.
You say kidding. Atlanta? Oh, okay.
Yeah. 10 games up.
For Philadelphia, 10.5. New York Mets, 18.5.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say Tampa's getting dethroned here any day now. Probably an easy pick because they're only 1 game up. But Orioles and Toronto just have too much. I think Tampa just come out of the gate that fast, that strong. They could run out of steam. That's not to say that they can't turn it back on come postseason time, but I'm just taking the idea that you have really 2 strong teams there that, you know, I get like a 2 for there. So I think I like your idea on Toronto. I think that's very live.
Yeah, they actually have a better expected win-loss than Baltimore does, for what it's worth. So they're just obviously they're 4.5 games back of Baltimore, but they have a better expected win-loss.
Is Houston worth a bet here to win the division?
I was gonna bet them before. Sean Zerillo bet them before at the All-Star break. I was debating on it too. I may wait until they get Yordan back and then bet it, because you probably can get plus. Because they were like about plus 100 right before the All-Star break, and then Texas has not. What is it?
Plus 105 on DraftKings.
Still 105. Like it's tough to, like, 3.5 games is like obviously not that much in the long scheme of things. I might wait till Yordan is back just to see where we are, because once Yordan comes back, I think Houston's gonna make a huge run, because that is a bat that they much desperately need.
Yeah, but aren't you pretty much toast on the number by then, or?
Well, it depends. When Yordan returns, right, he's rehabbing back right now. If they're within 4 games, I'd probably take it, because there's still 70 games left, 68 games left.
Yeah, I was hoping to get a better price there. Damn.
Yeah, if you could have gotten plus 150, that's what I'm thinking. I think you can get plus 150, 200, possibly. You have to time it, right? You have to know, all right, Yordan's like on his second rehab stint. This is the time to do it. Yeah,
no, I'll have a really fun time tracking.
Yordan Alvarez rehab, bro. Come on.
Rehab stints. Yeah.
But the thing is, the Astros, Framber Valdez is hurt. Their like rotation's kind of banged up. That like gives me some like question. Texas, I think, is really good. I don't know if they. I don't know, dude. I can't even. They're really good. Like I feel like they just don't lose.
I love Texas, but no DeGrom. I mean, I know they've not had him for like 2 months now, but it's still scary.
Yeah, they also have a plus 160 run differential. That is the best in baseball. Number 2, Tampa 151. Number 3, Atlanta 148. For what it's worth.
Yeesh. Okay, last night, bat flip, sick. You know, still beating those loser Yankees. Shohei Ohtani, we're in the 7th inning. Does Shohei get traded at the deadline?
Dude, I think he does. Mike Trout is probably going to miss 2 months, and if he's going to miss 2 months and the Angels continue to lose like they have been, obviously last night was different, but the way that they lost to Houston on Sunday Night Baseball, I just thought was like the icing on the cake for Shohei making, like, just eventually getting traded. I hope he gets traded, because I have a Seager like 45 to 1 MVP ticket. But I just think if you're the Angels, I think
First off, they're 9 games out of the West. The only team worse than them in the AL West are the Oakland A's. And in terms of the wild card, 5.5 games out of the wild card. They're a game under 500.
I don't think there's any world without Mike Trout for the next month and a half that you can look at this team and make an argument that they're going to make the playoffs. And I'm pretty sure they're like minus 1,500 to miss the playoffs. Like now, like they're like the odds have made a huge turnaround on it. They're better than Seattle probably, but then I don't know if you can make an argument they're better than Boston, Houston, Toronto, or Baltimore. And at that point, then you're the 5th best team. You have to. Yeah. Oh, I know. But you have to, like, Shohei's having an MVP season, and you're gonna take a chance on trying to re-sign him when he's probably gonna leave and get nothing out of him. I think he's traded.
It's just crazy that. So yeah, you're gonna get, sure, if you decide to trade him, you'll get players and assets, but like him leaving will be like almost a like plus minus differential of like billions of dollars, right? Like it's like $1 billion swing when that guy leaves your organization.
Right. But at the same time, like, is it more painful to be the team that traded away Shohei Ohtani, or is it the team that didn't win with Shohei and then he just walked in free agency and you lost out on everything? Like, what is more painful? I don't know.
I know if they trade him, they better get the PR machine going that there was no chance he was going to sign. That's what they hope. They got to get everybody on board. Hey, there's no chance he was going to sign.
Yeah, because it'd be real awkward when he heads a little bit down to the other LA team and joins the Dodgers on like a $500 million contract.
Give me a destination. LA or Dodgers is your destination, or?
Well, best case scenario, Dodgers for my MVP tickets on Seager. I think if he hits free agency, Dodgers. If he doesn't and he gets traded, like, I think the Yankees have the package to do it. I just don't know if they will pull the trigger based on how the team's been performing.
Yeah, I just hope anyone on the East Coast, anyone, don't care.
So
I just want to watch the guy more on a nightly basis. Like last night with the big home run, I'm not usually up that late on a Monday night, and I just was like, damn, I'm usually asleep when this guy's doing this.
Yeah, this man hits like this. Yeah, he's gonna finish like 50 home runs, and you've probably seen like 4 live. Like, hey.
Literally. Like that's what just sucks. You know, I love him. I want to enjoy him more. So anybody on the East Coast, please, please, please. 7th inning stretch. Charlie, what is your least favorite part of going to the ballpark besides having to watch the Mets most of the time?
I think the least exciting and my least favorite part of the ballpark is I feel like the vendors are gone now. Like, I rarely ever see these guys running around going peanuts, like cold beer. That used to be like a staple of baseball games. And I don't know if it was COVID or what, but I feel like every time I'm now sitting at the games, I never have that opportunity. And then I have to walk and miss a half an inning or an inning to go get another beer or go get food. And I'm missing these because these lines are horrible. And there's no like fast food order service. So it's that I hate that. Like, I literally have to wait on so many lines and miss like an inning or two.
Well, a lot of it is too, these parks have gone cashless. So it's like, that's part of the thing too. You can't go just pass down your $10. Like,
yeah. Oh, I know. I went to go do that the other day because I was at the Mets game and on brand, and I went to go get like this Marte bobblehead, and they still lost the game. But I wanted to get a cold beer, and and the guy's walking down. I saw one, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen like one of these vendors in weeks, or months. And I was like, yo, like I'll take one, like Corona. Like, and I like went to go take out my wallet and give him cash, and then he pulls out like the whole big janky walkie-talkie looking like thing and like no card, and I was like, oh, this sucks.
It sucks.
And it also, yeah. So it's just like I was like, oh man, this is just sad to see, but yeah.
I miss the days of going to a baseball game and saying, oh shit, I forgot to get cash out.
Yeah. Or like you're passing it down and like you're giving a 20 to like a guy who's giving it to like the guy in the front row, and it's just like completely passed down. Like that's what brings people together.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Everyone's on each other's side. My funny story, my dad tells me this story all the time. And I was 3 years old at the 2000 NLCS. And a guy was selling cotton candy, which you don't see anymore. These guys don't sell cotton candy. Walking down the aisles, and I wanted cotton candy, and the Mets were down, typical, against the Giants in the NLCS. And when we went to order cotton candy, my dad's like handing the cash down, and the guy at the end of the row goes, "Don't worry, I'm buying the cotton candy. Like, it's on me." And he goes, "No, like, don't worry, like I got it." And he goes, "No, it's good luck to buy a kid cotton candy, like buy food at a baseball game, so it's on me." So my dad like lets him do it. The next inning or 2 innings later, the Mets end up coming back. They end up winning the NLCS game, and my dad like takes that story to the grave as like the best moment. Like,
I love that. I didn't know that. I gotta do that. I gotta start doing that.
Start buying like if you're at the end of the aisle. But then again, there's no more vendors. So you're not gonna like go in front of a line and be like, don't worry, like I'm buying you food, like and like, tap your card against the thing. You can't just pull out a 20 and be like, it's on me.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll buy this kid whatever they want. They're like an ice cream. I'm like, that's fucking $18. No, I don't care about them coming back that badly.
It's like, there's 162 games. We don't need it.
Everyone loves the guy that takes the money and then like fake puts it in his pocket. And everyone's like,
I know, you don't get those moments anymore. Now it's just like, oh, there, here's your card. Tap it.
Yeah, go wait in line 4 innings.
Dude, it's awful.
I would say mine is Sweet Caroline. I mean, just the worst part of going to the ball game. Like when people like associate Boston with Sweet Caroline, I want to puke. Like I think that's disgusting. No,
you're like,
it's not.
Nah, Sweet Caroline.
You're like, you're from Boston, Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba. I'm like, no, I'm fucking not. I want nothing to do with that stupid song. You know. And maybe I'd be more into it if they didn't just turn it into they play it every time. So they could be down 12-1 in the 8th inning, and people are standing up. Where it began. I'm like, they're down fucking 10 runs. What's wrong with you?
The Dodgers were up on the Mets, and the Mets do after the 7th inning stretch. They do the song, and then they play like an Italian song, and then the next inning they play whatever the fans vote on. Like, so and this one was Mr. Brightside. And I was like, and I'm sitting there and it's like, go into my kitchen, I was doing just fine. And I'm sitting there, the Mets just blew the lead. And I'm like, this is like, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm in hell. Like I like, why are we like singing and dancing
it's so wrong.
And the Mets are losing. Like, we're not winning. Like it's one thing if you're winning and you're playing these songs and everyone's dancing around, like
it's so wrong. It's so wrong. It's just like it is. It's insulting. It's just such a bad taste in my mouth. Okay, continuing on here. 8th inning, almost done here.
Chug.
One rule change what's one rule would you like to change in the MLB? A lot of rule changes recently.
You know, it's a very controversial one, but I think that we should either lighten up the catcher collision rules or just get rid of it completely, because I think that the one part of baseball that I'm missing and I miss is I feel like when players like have a hard turn at third, they don't get to run through the catcher because the catcher's blocking the plate, and then it's, oh, is he blocking the plate? Oh no, he's not. Like the rules are so like janky and like confusing that like you don't know whether or not you can slide hard. And if you're sliding hard, then the batter is at more risk than the catcher, or if you run through the catcher, then you're out. Like it's just like Charlie and Always Sunny with like trying to figure out what's what. Like I'd rather just typical, you're on the train tracks, you get railroaded. And I know that like obviously they want to prevent injury, but I miss that part of baseball.
Yeah, that old like highlights like that are fun. And it's like one of the still parts of baseball that's like a really gray area in terms of a call. Right. That's why it's especially frustrating. I will say, I actually, usually the negative one here and want to overturn a lot of rules. I'll tell you, I love the runner on second extra innings rule. I think it's one of the best things baseball ever did.
How?
Love it. It makes you have to play real baseball. It makes teams actually have to bunt guys over. It is the only, like if you took a little league kid and you said, hey, watch baseball, watch an MLB game. They don't play like little league kids. Everything's launch angle, try to hit the ball over everybody's head. The only time that they play old school baseball is that runner on second rule. And you got guys that can't bunt, trying to bunt. And it's like, wow, you're actually using the full skill set of what we teach people a baseball player is.
See, I hate it from a betting perspective because it's like hockey with 3-on-3. Like you start out with an extra man on second base. If you make one mistake and all of a sudden, like instead of a man on first and no out, it's a man on first and third, or a man scores. And there's so much volatility to come with the extra innings that from a betting perspective, I hate it. Because then I feel like I always get the short end of the stick because if they bunt him over, then from third, you need a strikeout. And I feel like whenever I need a strikeout or I need the ball put in play, the opposite happens, especially in the extra innings.
And that's very fair. And I largely agree with you on that front. And so I would rather them, like I would with the NHL, I'd rather them tie than us continue to play with the real rules until the 20.
They should introduce ties. I don't understand why there's not ties. I guess there'd be more ties. But they should, or maybe like cut it off after like 3 extra innings or something like that.
I would say tie after 12 or something.
Yeah.
Play the real rules.
But then you would get rid of the second inning, yeah?
Yeah. Play the regular rules, the real rules, tie after 12.
Okay.
That's what I would agree on. Because I can't do the, like, remember old Sports Center days when like this game went 22 innings and there's like no one in the ballpark. So it's like, that's not that cool.
But that was fun. That was like, I don't know. I like loved looking at the highlights where it's like, all right, to the 22nd inning we go. It's like the starting pitcher from like 3 days ago is now back on the mound. Like,
yeah, exactly. That to me, I can't do it. But I'm glad we came to some sort of agreement there. One gambling do-over from the past year. This is the 9th inning here. One gambling do-over, maybe a refund, something you said, I was so wrong. I know mine. What say you?
All right, I'm not going baseball centric here. TCU and not betting on the fucking Horned Frogs. I would just, if I could just take away the season that I had, if I could have my college football season and then just take away every bet I made on TCU, that would be as crystal clear, perfect of a college betting season I'd have. That season, Max Duggan made my life an absolute and utter living hell.
Yeah. I was a close tie with my two. I have specific games, one of them being TCU. That Texas game at Texas, Saturday night, I was all in on Texas. I remember exactly where I was all in on Texas. If I could just have that, in like one of those ones where you hit them every which way, so it just wiped you out for the day. I had been profitable all day. It was my favorite bet, hit Texas every which way. And that was brutal. And the same thing happened with Clemson in the Orange Bowl against Tennessee. Tennessee had 1 million opt-outs. Clemson was coming off the ACC championship where they had Cade in and they looked so good. And I'm like, okay, this will springboard them into next season. Clemson really cares about this because of like the new quarterback factor. Feels like a new season. And I always bet against Clemson. So I violated like a core value in my life. And I went all in on Clemson and it killed me and I deserved it.
Yeah, you always look back and you're like, the games that you love the most, for the most part, don't pan out. And the only time it did was Dallas and Vikings, which we victory lapped like maybe 5 times last year. But yeah, college football, I feel like college football is the biggest spot where like I feel like I love a team, and then it just the opposite happens. I will say, going off that Texas TCU, it's so much more aggravating too, because all the squares were on TCU and you were on Texas. And you're like, it's a sharp side. You got closing line value, which we did every time with TCU fading them, but they still covered. And you're sitting there, I'm sitting there on the couch, like I know where I was, and I'm sitting on my couch, and the guy's like, oh yeah, no, I bet like TCU. And I'm like, oh my God, like then I can't stand hanging out with the kid. Like I'm like, I left. I was like, I gotta go. I'm done.
It's so brutal. And I'm also too, that game was on the bar I was at, and TCU's blowing Texas out, and people were like, hey, who you got? I mean, it wasn't a blowout, but Texas was always behind. They were always like 2 scores away. Yeah. And someone's like, who do you have here? And I'm just like, Texas. Oh, dude, why would you have Texas?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to lie? The gambling gods are watching.
That's the worst. Why do you have X? Why did you bet on X? I'm like, I will punch you in the face. Not actually, but I want to.
Buddy, you had the luxury of walking in and seeing the first 3 fucking quarters before you decided what I should have bet a week ago.
Yeah. Yeah, you saw when they're up 2 touchdowns, like, why did you bet on Texas? Like, I could see the future.
Who forged your transcript?
If I knew that TCU was going to be up, I would bet on TCU.
Fuck you, John. All right, that's enough for us. No degenerate moment of the week because we went too long, but Hutton, thank you. You're the best. Charlie, enjoy your little vacation, but you're still doing the show next week. Be sure to follow Charlie in the Action app at Charlie DiSturco, but he's going to go on holiday, so, tread lightly. I'm at TimmyCal12 on Twitter, Kalinowski12 in the Action app. Thank you for tuning in. Good luck with your bets this week. College football is around the corner, people. I think we're in the 40s, like 47 days-ish, so hang on tight. Hang on tight. We'll see you.